What up, guys? So it's 4 in the morning, as you can see. Well, it might look like we sit up really late, but actually we just woke up like an hour ago. The reason why is because we're at a gym right now, self-made training, and we're here to meet someone really big, and I'll explain more later, but for now, I gotta go work out, so I'll talk to you guys soon. Alright guys, so I'm actually back at the Airbnb that we have out here in LA, and clearly I suck at making vlogs because I literally didn't record a single part of this whole trip, and honestly it's been like one of the most life-changing trips yet again. So what I want to do in this video is kind of walk you through my trip in LA, like all of the lessons I learned that you can apply to yourself, just sort of so that you can learn all the things that I learned myself. Because one of the best ways that you can improve and learn in your journey is to actually learn from other people's mistakes and other people's successes as well. So I want to just go through this entire trip. I know that's kind of like not super relevant, but I just want to go through this entire trip with you and just give you all the lessons that I learned, because what I did on this trip really was I was going to the Underground Earners event. If you guys don't know what that is, it's basically a small-ish mastermind. Jordan Welsh, Beast of Ecom, Justin Wool, Vince Wang, they were all actually partnering together to throw an event. And honestly, I didn't know what to expect. These guys are all my friends. I've known Jordan and Harry, which is Beast of Ecom, for a while. And Vince I had met a long time ago as well. But yeah, I didn't know what to expect. Obviously, I had my hopes high. Like, I was really excited for this event. They invited me to speak and be a part of a panel. And so I was like, okay, sure. I didn't want to actually give a speech because I don't know. I'm not super scared of public speaking, but I've been really busy lately, and I didn't want to have to prepare a whole presentation, because I would have gotten really hard at preparing like the best presentation, and it would have been really stressful. So I decided I just wanted to be a part of the panel, and they were like, yeah, for sure, let's do that. And so they flew me out here, and I'm with my friend Blake. You guys have seen him before. And yeah, of course I said yeah. I was like, yeah. They told me they were gonna rent out this big mansion in the hills, and it's gonna be like a more close group of people, and it would closely resemble the Costa Rica mastermind that I went to, which, if you guys don't know, like last November I went to a Costa Rica mastermind. That's where I met Gabriel St. Germain. That's where I met Jordan and Sebastian Gomez. Those are like all really cool people, of course. And that event was life-changing. That's exactly what Sebastian did. He rented out this mansion in Costa Rica, brought a close group of people together, and yeah, we just had like an amazing time. It was like honestly amazing. And this was something similar, but here in LA. And honestly, the first thing I want to let you guys know is like of the event scene. It's kind of sketchy. It's not sketchy, but there's of course good events and mediocre events, and a lot of these events are not designed primarily towards value. It's more about meeting people, which is great, but they're typically pretty expensive, and just to meet someone that's not necessarily going to give you what you need to actually succeed, especially if you're just beginning. But this event, oh my god, it was like, the best way I can describe it is it was like the most genuine event that I've been to personally, and that I've even seen around. I mean, I haven't been a part of many events, only like 3 to be honest, but this one was just so genuine. Like, everybody got to learn so much from one another. Like, everyone was so excited to be like giving out value to people, and just connecting in like a really deep level. I don't know, and all the speakers they didn't hold anything back, basically. Like, nobody held anything back, and it was literally like the most value-driven event that I've been to, honestly. So huge props, first of all, to all you guys that made it happen. Vince, Justin, Jordan, Harry, you guys are killing it. And I hope that I can be a part of the next one as well. But second of all, I learned a ton of things. So I went as a speaker, but I literally feel like I got an attendee's worth of value. So the first thing that I kind of wanted to talk to you about in regards to that is branding. I mean, I know I talk about branding a lot, and it's kind of, I feel like I've been repeating these things like over and over, but it's true. Like, this is what all of these guys were preaching, but the great thing about it is that they're actually doing it as well. So Vince, for example, he's been building a brand in the gifting niche, and it's been doing really well. He's doing a lot of volume. I remember back last time when I came to LA and I first met him, he was actually just like starting to talk about the brand and how it was like unfolding, and now it's actually come full circle, and it's actually been doing really well. And I was able to share like some of the stuff that I've been doing as well, and it was just really valuable. We got to connect and taken a lot of information, and from the other speakers, there were other speakers there that had done 8 figures with drop shipping, but also with some like branded models, like branded like drop shipping stores and stuff like that. Even from a like successful drop shippers perspective, you see that these guys who are killing it with drop shipping, a lot of them, when you tell them what they're doing right now, a lot of them, at least at this event, will say that they're actually building a brand or building some sort of subscription service, you know, stuff like that. Like they just want to build something more legitimate that they can get that is an asset, basically. So that was really awesome. That was like really validating, because those are the things that I've been thinking about a lot and the things that I've been moving forward towards. And yeah, we actually got to go though. This is like literally the last day. It took me till the last day to actually film a video. That's how you know I've been like busy and inspired. But yeah, we got to leave this Airbnb, and then I actually have to go home to Minnesota, but I'll probably talk to you guys then. Be right back. All right, guys, I'm back in Minnesota, back at home base. But just as I was saying, I learned a ton on this trip. Literally, this was probably one of the most insightful experiences of my life. I feel like every time I travel and meet other entrepreneurs, I feel this way. But this time, like I said, it was just incredible. But as I was saying, one of the things that I learned, so let me talk about first some tactical things that apply to you guys that I learned that are really, really important, you know, here on out in dropshipping and e-commerce in general, right? So one of the things, for example, is some of the guys were actually testing with CBO campaigns. So I actually have videos on my channel of how I've tested products with CBOs, and this is literally almost down to the T, how some of these guys were saying they were actually testing with CBOs. So make sure that you watch those videos. That's literally the blueprint right there. And CBOs, you know, don't sweat it too much. Don't overthink it. Just treat it almost like a regular campaign, except, you know, now you're not doing ad set level budgets, you're just doing campaign level budgets. But besides that, that's kind of like was the biggest thing here, is doing more CBOs than before. And not only just doing that, but scaling with CBOs. And the thing about CBOs though is that they will take some testing, right? Like you may not get results the first day or something. But if you look at your CBO over like a span of time, typically it will result in profitable or at least break-even results, right? At least on a testing campaign, if the product is good and you know your video is good, etc., etc. Now, another thing that I learned from the event is just how insanely committed some of these speakers were to testing products, and that's how they were able to expedite their success. So you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of just testing a billion products all the time and you know trying to get lucky and finding one. I think the best method, in my opinion, is just like really hone in on a product, try your hardest to make it work, and then if it doesn't pan out, then you move on. But I don't believe in just like doing a lot of low quality product tests. But some of these guys, specifically one guy, his name's John Paul, maybe some of you guys know him from Instagram, but this guy said that he tested like over 300 products in like a span of a week or something. Like he did like 100 products a day for a little bit. Something insane like that, where it just requires so much manual labor, but you know, you just literally take action to a whole new level, and that's how he was able to just see some success. I mean, if you test 300 products in a week's span of time, you're like guaranteed to find a winner, right? But of course, this is only possible for people that have a big budget. You would not be able to do this if you're a complete beginner and just starting. So those were kind of the two like tactical things that I learned, like some real practical advice that I can give you. As far as winning products go, I mean, it's kind of the same old, right? Like if you see a product out there that's killing it, try testing it. If you see a trend out there and you find a product related to that, test it. If you can't find good content for your product, maybe it's not worth testing yet until you can find good content, because of course your video ad is like almost more important than the video or than your product. So make sure that you have good content to use for your products. So that's basically the tactical advice. But what I want to give you, but the next thing I learned is actually just how many different ways there are to make things work. So all of these speakers at this house, they were all 7- and 8-figure speakers. And the crazy thing is that these guys they'd all done like different things to get to where they were. Nobody was doing the exact same thing. Everybody was kind of doing their own thing and building up their skills, but doing their own thing. But if there's one thing that they all had in common, is they actually all took the time to develop skills and literally like mastered their skills in order to get to the point that they are now. And that's one really big point that I want to make here is you have to stop thinking of a blueprint or stop thinking of the one way to do things and the secret to success. There is no secret really. You have to master the skills of digital marketing. There is no way around it. If you don't know how to make good videos, then maybe outsource it. But if you don't have the money, then guess what? You're gonna have to learn how to make good videos. If you don't know how to run Facebook ads, you need to learn. So, these are kind of the things that when it comes to dropshipping, a lot of people get, excited. It kind of seems like a easy solution to creating a quick business and making a bunch of money really fast. But in reality, that's not how it goes. You have to build your skills in order to get to that point. And even after you build a big dropshipping store, that doesn't guarantee anything. That doesn't mean that, next year you'll be seeing the same amount of success with that store. It doesn't guarantee anything. So just keep that in mind, guys. All of these speakers, including myself, had all gone through insane failures, like literally more failure than successes, of course, like literally 10 times more failure than any success. But nobody at the event was either ashamed of it, or like disregarded it. Everybody just kind of assumed that everybody just kind of like owned it, right? And that's something that I think is really important for people to understand. Like in this e-commerce space, there's a lot of guru stuff going on. Like there's a lot of fake it till you'll make it, like gimmicky stuff, a lot of exotic cars, a lot of crazy, parties, whatever. And you know what, like that's all a joke. Like that's literally not how it is at all. Literally all of these guys that were here, they all grind. They're all hustlers. None of them live this like insane lifestyle where it's like, cool to not work, basically. It's like the opposite, we're all grinding. And the only reason why we've been able to find success is because we've built skills that generate income. But in order to do that, like you have to put in so much work. And even till this day, none of these guys are not working and making money. Like we're all working hard as hell. Everyone is working like day and night. Some guys even work like insane amounts, but that's how they get to that level, right? So I just really wanted you guys to understand that, like, if you're seeing failure right now, it's totally normal, and you literally can't make it to your success without going through that failure, that period of like, just nothing going for you. And there'll never be a time in which it's just all success, right? Like that's non-existent. It's always like an up and down roller coaster. Just ideally, you'd always be trending upwards. And the only way to do that is just to be consistent, to learn from your mistakes, learn from other people's mistakes, but also not be afraid to make mistakes. That's a big one, because you will make them. So just keep that in mind, guys. And I wanted to share that lesson with you because I just think that, like I said, in this space, people really get caught up in trying to find the exact blueprint to do something without understanding principles of digital marketing and just principles in general of business, and they just expect that there's an easy way out there. But unfortunately, there isn't. You'll have to put in work regardless of what you want to do. And this lifestyle, it's I prefer this over a job, but sometimes it's scary. Like sometimes it's unpredictable. There's really low times, there's really high times, but you get both. So yeah, don't expect to just never fail, because that's never gonna happen. You just focus on building your skills and eventually you'll make it to where you want to be. But with that being said, I'm gonna cut off this video. It's getting a little bit long, and like I said, this was an amazing experience. I'm so happy I got to connect with all the speakers and even some of you guys. I met some of you guys that told me that you've seen my videos, and it was just so humbling. It was an amazing experience overall. And I'm really grateful that I went and got to participate in it. But with that being said, if you resonate with what I just told you, all the lessons that I learned, make sure you drop a like on this video. I'd really appreciate it. And leave me a comment. Like, let me know what you think. I love answering you guys' questions and comments in the comments. But with that being said, I'll be making another video shortly, and I'll see you then. Peace out.